Hello, Maryville Community School Corporation teaching staff. Today's brief workshop video is a review of how to implement a 504 plan. I will be citing 9 bullet points relating important information about the use and implementation of the 504 plan with students in your classroom. Bullet point number 1, eligibility. Eligibility is any person who, after an individual inquiry, has a physical or mental impairment which substantially limits one or more major life activities, which are listed on the screen. Or has a record of such an impairment or is regarded as having such an impairment. The phrase substantially limits is to be defined liberally, indicating that we have more flexibility in determining the impairment's impact on life activities. Bullet point number 2. Who can initiate an evaluation for a 504 plan? A parent or any school employee. This means that a parent or school employee can initiate the process when considering a 504 plan, but that does not mean that the student is automatically given one. A committee of key persons that are familiar with the student is brought together to determine if a 504 plan would be appropriate based on the information and data gathered. Bullet point number 3. 504 plans are under the umbrella of the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, in which students are entitled to certain services if they meet requirements. The 504 plan is very similar to an IEP, and you do not need a diagnosis or a documented learning disability to be eligible for a 504 plan. However, the protocol is very similar. For example, the protocols used to address student discipline under an IEP, individual education plan, is the same for a 504. In other words, a causal hearing to determine if a student's disability or impairment is related to the misbehavior is required for both. Bullet point number 4. Teachers are legally mandated to follow a student's 504 plan. Make sure that you have read the recommendations and accommodations in the student's 504 plan that apply, and then document how you have met and/or addressed the accommodations. Bullet point number 5. Teachers are required to adhere to and respect the confidentiality of students who have a 504 plan. It's important that we protect the confidentiality of students with the 504 plan. That means that we need to speak to students privately to assure that the accommodations in the plan are not only compliant with the 504, but that they work for the student. Be careful about where and how you have those conversations. I know that managing a whole classroom during tests and quizzes can be a bit hectic, but I want to encourage you to be mindful about providing the accommodations for students with 504 plans in a confidential manner. Bullet point number 6. Teachers are expected to become familiar with each 504 plan, knowing its content and what they need to do to properly implement it. If you have any questions regarding your role in implementing the 504 plan, please consult with your student's guidance counselor or administrator for assistance in determining the best way to meet 504 plan recommendations and accommodations. Bullet point number 7. Each student's plan should be individualized, differentiated, and implemented with fidelity and confidentiality. Bullet point number 8. Teachers will be required to sign a signature page indicating the receipt of the 504 plan. Once you receive your students' 504 plans, your signature will be required to help assure that all teachers who have a student with a 504 have received a copy. Bullet point number 9. Teachers are expected to contact parents, administrators, or guidance counselors when a student is not compliant with his or her 504 plan. If the 504 plan is not working for your student, or if the student is being non-compliant, please let the student's guidance counselor or administrator and parent know right away. That way, the situation can be evaluated and next steps can be determined. Again, please feel free to contact your student's guidance counselor or administrator regarding 504 plan questions or concerns. And as a follow-up to this 504 plan video workshop, I will be sending you a Section 504 PowerPoint detailing most, if not all, the steps associated with the aforementioned process. Thank you and have a good day.